Good morning, culés. Happy Friday to you all. The weekend is here, and we've got an El Clasico Super Copa to look forward to. That's going to be happening Sunday. But before we get to any of that, we'll be discussing the semifinal match. Barcelona narrowly getting by Betis in penalties. We'll be discussing the good, the bad, the Barça in a full match review. Plus, like I said, taking a look ahead to that El Clasico. If you want to be part of the conversation, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can connect with your fellow culés as we do a full match review, have a little bit of caffeine, have some good conversation, start our day the right way. And with that out of the way, let's kick things off the right way, my friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the undefeated Mustache John.
Okay, my goodness, I feel like I said the right way about 12 times right there. Anyway, my friends, good morning to all the culés from around the world, my beautiful Barça babies. I hope you're having a wonderful start to your day, or midday, or evening, wherever you are watching around the world. I know we've got culés from all over the globe, which is the point of this community, all right? I started this channel. I continue to do these shows so that we can have culés from all over the world come together, support the badge, support each other. That is what we do here on this channel while we cover Barcelona news, while we do live streams for the matches. And I'm very excited. I will be available for this Sunday's El Clasico. Very exciting stuff. Let me change up my my light scheme here. Hang on, because we're rotating through some colors, and I want to do a morning sunrise instead. How about just a little bit of that? We'll do some sunrise colors. All right, there we go. There we go, folks. Again, make sure you are subscribed so you can participate in the chat. Albion, I see you over on TikTok. Those watching on TikTok, make sure you're double clicking the screen, making those hearts fly by. Make sure you follow, swipe over to my profile. Click the link in the bio if you want the full experience over on YouTube, which is where you all are watching. Make sure you smash that thumb there. Give me a like, a subscribe, notifications, all that jazz. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about, folks. Let's go ahead and start this show, shall we? Let's take a look at the overview stats for Real Betis and Barcelona semifinal. Hang on. I'm missing a light. 1 second. There we go. No effect on you all, but I usually have that light on over there, and it just seemed too dark in here. Anyway, amateur hour over here. Barcelona's squeaking by Betis in penalties. Whew. We just could not hold a lead. Up 1-0, lost it. Up 2-1, lost it. My goodness, had to take it to extra time and then penalties to get through, but we did it, folks. Goals from Lewandowski, goals from Ansu. On the other side, you saw Nabil Fekir and Garcia. Both were pretty good goals, gotta admit. Andres Guardado sent off, a substitute no less, sent off for getting 2 yellow cards. Didn't make much of a difference. There was only a couple minutes there, about 90 seconds for Barcelona to try to take action before penalties. Couldn't do it, but this was a wild one. We had, how many? We had 3 different goals called back from VAR offside. We had cards, this was a wild match. Back and forth, of course. Barcelona dominated the first half, I would say. We ended up with 61% possession. At halftime, it was over 70%. Early into the second half, De Jong and dembele came off, apparently due to minor injuries. They're feeling like they're going to be okay for Sunday. We'll talk about that in detail here in just a little bit. But second half, Betis took advantage of the few opportunities that they had. Kept in it. In total, Barca had 6 shots, Betis had 7. We ended with 61% possession, 796 passes, 88% accuracy, 18 fouls compared to Betis' 16. I'm telling you, this got a little bit chippy. 1 red card, like I mentioned. 2 yellow cards for us, 4 for Betis. But we made it through. That's the important part, folks, is we made it through. Nervy times. We've had spurts over this new era with Xavi where we've struggled to maintain the lead. We can do it. We saw it against Atletico Madrid, away from home, 1-0 victory. Formidable opponent. We can do it. I've seen it happen. It's been done before. struggled in this one. Struggled greatly. But we got it. We're through. We are on to the final. Super Copa is going to be this Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern. We will be doing the live watch-along. And I'll tell you what, folks, we are also going to do a bonus episode of Wake Up in Barca. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Tomorrow morning. Call it 10 a.m. Eastern. That sounds about right. I'll schedule it. Make sure you turn on notifications just in case I'm overlooking something, misremembering, and I have something going on. Who knows? But we are going to do an extra episode of Wake Up in Barca for the Super Copa El Clasico Final match preview. We'll go over lineups. We'll talk predictions. We'll talk all things that we need to cover going into that match. That's going to be Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. Turn on notifications. Make sure you convert that for your time zone. All that good stuff. But you get, hey, bonus episode of Wake Up in Barca for this week. Love to connect with my culés. Love to connect with the Stash Squad. Speaking of, before we get into the good, the bad, the Barca, and we give out the Mustache Man of the Match Award, before we get to that, I want to turn to the chat. I want to say my hellos. I want to catch up with the Stash Squad, with the undefeated community. Again, subscribe to the channel so you can be part of the conversation. I want your questions. I want your thoughts. I want your opinions. Let's keep the conversation going. I'm going to turn to the chat, but if you are watching this on replay, make sure you leave some comments down below for me to respond to. Keep the conversation going. All right, my friends. Turning to the chat now. How we doing? And again, on TikTok, if you want the full experience, swipe over, click the link in the bio, get yourself over to the Undefeated Mustache John YouTube channel. In the meantime, I see we got Winston in here. We got Orlando. We got Mario. How we doing? Welcome back, fellas. Good morning to you. Saint, hello. Eshwa, how we doing? Says, we have to beat Madrid 3-0 this time around. Let's do 4-0 again. Let's do another Barcelona on them. How about that? Orlando says, hopefully they don't give them offside penalties whenever we face them on Sunday. Amen to that. Brian, good morning. Says, I want to see Balde, Christensen, Araujo, Koundé in the back with Pedri, Gavi, De Jong in the mid. I'm with you on that. We will do a match preview, I should say, for that El Clasico in our bonus episode of Wake Up in Barca, a Saturday episode tomorrow. We're going to do that. I'll get that scheduled on so you can put it on your calendars. But I'm just thinking of doing that now. Just popped in my head. So we're going to do that. We're going to make that happen. Bonus episode. But for today, we still want to talk about... Hang on. Where do I want to get to here? Give me 1 second. Silly goose. Where am I at? I'm good. I just need to bring up this window here. Okay. Relax. We're good. My friends, it is time for the good, the bad, the Barca from Real Betis Barcelona semi-final Super Copa. Barcelona getting through 4-2 in penalties. Of course, we had 90 minutes in extra time, which ended 2-2. But Barcelona doing what they needed to do through those penalties. Ter Stegen primarily coming up with a couple of big stops. So Barcelona on to the final. And let's discuss what was good, what was bad, what was Barca, meaning what represented the badge, what was true to the Blaugrana colors. And then we'll give out the Mustache Man of the Match. So let's begin, my friends, with what was good about the match. Let's talk about that. First of all, Lewandowski getting on the scoreboard. Could have had two, one called back for an offside, but Lewandowski getting on the score sheet. Like to see it. He's still got a couple of matches suspended in La Liga, so just for Lewandowski to get a run out, like to see it. Pedri, I thought, had a strong game. Wasn't great, right? It wasn't Barca box worthy, but tell you what, 120 minutes playing box to box, you got to give Pedri a little bit of recognition. You got to give Pedri a little bit of a shout out there. I also want to recognize Jordi Alba playing on that left-hand side. Not getting as much playing time now that Balde is stepping into that left-back role, but Jordi Alba, another strong performance, like what I saw there. Araujo, beautiful. Every match, Araujo seems to get better, seems to get more comfortable in that center-back role. This time started off pairing with Koundé before some substitutions later in the second half. Koundé actually looked a little bit shaky in the center of the pitch. I think he might be getting maybe a little bit too comfortable out on that right-hand side. I digress. Araujo had an excellent match, but because we gave up the 2 goals, hard for him to move into a Barça box or a mustache man of the match, but he had a good game. He really did. I don't think either of those goals were really his fault. I know the second one, he was right there, but that was, what are you going to do? Go back and watch that goal and tell me that was Araujo's fault. Not the case. So, all those things were good, plus some other things, but I want to give this Barça box to a young man who maybe needs this one. Maybe needs a little recognition, a little pick-me-up. Ansu Fati scored a golazo, full volley with the left foot running away from goal in extra time. This is the Ansu that we know and love. And of course, he did it off the bench. After what I'll say is a less than impressive performance against Atletico Madrid, Ansu Fati comes in off the bench, does what he needs to do, has an impact. Again, not his fault that Barcelona couldn't maintain that lead, but it gave us a lead in extra time, and for that, I want to give him a little shout out. Ansu Fati gets the good box. Now, discussing what was bad. Hold on 1 second. Okay. All right, we're good. Sorry. Discussing what was behind the scenes. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, folks. Discussing what was... Nope, not that one. There we go. Discussing what was bad. My goodness, silly gooses. Discussing what was bad. Take a deep breath, John. I was about to go in on Xavi for taking off De Jong and Dembele. I did not realize until after the match that both of them picked up a minor injury. Both of them were limping off, according to reports. I thought De Jong and Dembele were 2 of Barca's best players through the first half, dominating in possession. When the 2 of them came off, changed things. So I was ready to light up Xavi, but injury, so it's not his fault, so we're removing that. VAR and offside calls is so frustrating. It's live by the sword, die by the sword. Sometimes it saves you, sometimes it screws you. It's just, this time it got us. 3 goals, right? There was one from Ferran, one from Lewandowski, one from Pedri, if I'm not mistaken. I might be getting one of those wrong. All called back for offside. All the correct call, but it just... wah, 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 when it happens. You know what I mean? It kills the momentum of the game. It's not enjoyable. I'd be curious for just the average fan, not emotionally invested in Barcelona, how that impacted watching the game. Having 3 goals called back for offside. It was a tough one. So that was also bad. Speaking of Ferran, did not have a great game. He was very close to getting in this bad box, along with Marcus Alonso, who was getting smoked out there by Enrique, I believe his name is, right winger for Betis, young Brazilian. Maybe we need to take a look at him. Just saying, if Rafinha doesn't work out and we sell him and we have a little bit of cash, I don't know what the deal with Enrique is, but he was making Alonso look like he was on skates, just gliding along. Created that second goal. I digress. Marcus Alonso did not play well, but he avoids the bad box really only for one reason, which is the red shorts were so hideous, so distracting that they have to get in the bad box. I'm telling you, folks, these shorts right here, please know, apparently this is our 4th kit. We're not doing a La Serena this season, apparently. And instead, when there's a color clash and we need to go to our 4th kit, we're just going to do our home top with red shorts that, in my opinion, are a shade or 2 off of the red that's on the top of the kit. I'm just, someone tell me if I'm colorblind, but these shorts are too bright. You gotta go with the dark shorts. These red shorts are absolutely hideous. It was a distraction all match. I gotta think this is why Barcelona struggled, particularly in the second half. I gotta think this is why we were giving up the lead, not just once, but twice. A lot of the blame has to fall on these hideous, disgusting, never should be worn again red shorts. For that, get in the box. Okay, with that out of the way, let's talk about what was Barça about this match, what represented the club, the badge, the Blaugrana colors. A few things. I mentioned Ansu Fati already. He was very close to getting the Barça box. Very close. If his goal would have ended up being the winning match, I think he would have gotten it. But that wasn't the case. If Barcelona would have held on to the lead, Araujo definitely would have been up there for the Barça box. Excellent performance. Dembele, had he played a little bit more into the match, or had things played out a little bit differently, I should say, could have gotten the Barça box. Dembele out on that left wing, I liked it. I'm impressed. I think Xavi's getting in his ear saying, hey, Dembele, we have Ferran, we have Rafinha that both prefer that right side. You could work out being a left winger. That would just be fantastic. So he's giving it a shot. So I want to recognize Dembele for doing so. But this match, Barça box, goes to Frenkie de Jong. Also subbed off, same time as Dembele. Also picked up a minor injury, apparently. We can look into that a little bit later. But I'm shouting him out for stepping in to that pivot role after all the speculation over the summer, after all the doubt from the De Jong haters. Frenkie is showing that he is the future pivot for Barcelona. Barcelona were dominating the first half, bossing possession, mostly because of the work of Frenkie de Jong. Yes, it is a team effort, 100%. But as soon as Frenkie came off and Boosie came on, changed the match for the worse. Barcelona started to struggle. It was a lot harder to maintain possession. It was harder to stop the counterattacks. So Frenkie de Jong, for me, he is the future. He is the current. He is what Barcelona need in that pivot role. And for that, he gets the Barça box. So with that out of the way, it should be no surprise then, my friends, who gets the mustache man of the match. It is, of course, the trusty Ter Stegen. There we go. For his two big penalty saves in penalty kicks after 120 minutes of football being played. It all comes down to the penalty spot. Ter Stegen doing what he needs to do. Getting in their heads. Getting in the way of the ball. 2 stops, like I said. Barcelona 4-2 on penalties. And that was coming up big when you needed to. You could ding him. You could ding him for 1 or 2 of the goals. The second goal, I don't think is his fault at all. Pretty goal, but a bit of a fluke, if we're honest. All right. It all comes down to those penalties and how he performed. Big stops at a big moment on a big stage. Ter Stegen gets the mustache man of the match. That does it for the good, the bad, the Barça. Let me know your thoughts. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? We're going to keep the conversation going. I'm going to turn to the chat, see what you think. Ask your questions, express your thoughts, give your opinions, my friends. And again, if you're watching on replay, make sure you give your comments down below. All right, turning to the chat to see who we got in here. Let me turn this camera over here a little bit. There we go. That's a slightly better angle. Anyway, TikTok, again, if you want to be part of the full conversation, if you want the full experience, swipe over to my profile, click the link in the bio. That'll get you over to the Undefeated Mustache John YouTube channel, which is where you all are. Again, drop a like if you're enjoying the content. I do appreciate it. Let's see who we got in here, and give me your thoughts on the good, the bad, the Barça. Winston says, what a goal by Ansu. Could not agree more. Toaz, how we doing, sir? Says, Luis Enrique was a career mode beast. Absolutely. Flash, how we doing, sir? Good morning to you. Toaz says, those shorts are why Messi left. Probably. I think you could blame a lot on those red shorts. I think that's a fair point. Ovi, good morning to you. Says Ter Stegen is your mustache man of the match. Glad we're in agreement there. Not Brandon says those shorts are era 2015-16. Yes, they are. Very similar, but it's the top and bottom combo for me. I'm not against red shorts overall. I'm just against this shade of red. If you went with a just slightly darker, I feel like they just missed. They just missed on this one. You need to have a darker shade of red. Just saying. All right. Anyway. Other thoughts, folks. the good, the bad, the Barça. Satan says, Ansu was amazing. I think he's getting his confidence back because of the risky goals he shoots. I think he is starting to come back. And well, here's the thing. I was about to do it. And I'm not going to do it. It's one match, okay? Against Atletico, that was shades of Ansu. Against Betis off the bench, that's the Ansu that we want. Let's keep that up. I was about to get too excited and say, Ansu's back, and blah, blah, blah. It's one match. One match. I don't want to be a wet blanket. I don't want to be that guy that comes in and rains on the parade. But we got to be practical here. It's about consistency for Ansu Fati now. That's what we need. Eshwa says, winning this Super Copa will surely boost our confidence to win La Liga and Europa League. I would hope so. We definitely need to have a strong performance. I think Real Madrid for the last few years have kind of been acting like our big brother, particularly with their success in Europe and our failures in Europe. So getting a win and a trophy over Real Madrid would be huge, absolutely huge. Of course, the 4-0 victory at the Bernabeu last season was nice. We enjoyed that. Thank you, Alba. However, doing it in a tournament, even if it's the Super Copa, means a little bit more. Means a little something extra. That's what we want to see. We want to see Barcelona lifting a trophy over Real Madrid. Mario says Lewandowski will show Real Madrid who is the boss. Ooh, let's go, dude. Love that attitude. Richardson over on TikTok says Dembele on the left was nice to watch. Agreed to that. I was saying that earlier. I think, in Dembele's career, he's been known as a versatile left wing, right wing. It's really only been in the Xavi era that Dembele's been sticking to that right-hand side. If given enough time, I think he can play comfortably on either. If Memphis leaves, then really we only have Ansu Fati on that left-hand side. Yes, Ferran Torres has been playing on the left, but he prefers the right-hand side. Okay, so if we can have Ansu and Dembele on the left, Ferran and Rafinha on the right, I think that balances things a little bit more. You want to go Ansu left and Dembele right? That's probably our strongest, with Lewandowski in the middle, of course. But, Anyway, those are my thoughts, folks. Those are my thoughts. Again, keep the conversation going. Get your questions in. Get your comments in. We will be doing, just a reminder, we'll be doing a live watch-along for Super Copa de España, Real Madrid versus Barcelona. It's going to be Sunday, 2 p.m. I don't know if that's when kickoff is, though. Sometimes they trick you. They say 2 p.m., and then it's like, oh, kickoff's actually at 3. Good joke. Good joke. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we're going with 2 o'clock. That's what it says. We'll be doing live watch along. Before that, we'll be doing a little match preview. We'll talk lineups. We'll talk predictions. And we are doing a bonus episode of Wake Up in Barça. Like I said at the top of the show, if you missed it, bonus episode of Wake Up in Barça. That's happening Saturday. I'm thinking 10 a.m. All right, it's not scheduled yet. So make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss it. I know we got people watching in different time zones. Sometimes there's confusion and this and that. Anyway. Ovi says, why isn't Barca going for a 4-2-3-1 right now? Our players feel that profile. We see a little bit of that going on. But there's too much reliance on the Busi role. You know what I'm saying? But Xavi's mixing things up tactically. He's shifting players around. We talked about that a little bit. And we'll see, because against Betis, he did shift back more to a 4-3-3 as opposed to the kind of 3-2-3-2 that he was playing against Atletico Madrid. So Xavi's not afraid to mix things up, but he does like to go back to that 4-3-3. So we'll talk about what he's going to do against Real Madrid in tomorrow's episode of Wake Up and Barca. Mario says, I don't know about Rafinha, but Ferran needs to be sold. I wouldn't be heartbroken at this point. I was really hoping that this was going to be Ferran's season, but it's not. He's having a worse year than he did last year. So, I don't know. I think he can go. I think he can go. I hate to say it. I don't like to call it quits on players. You know, Rafinha's in the same boat, but I think Rafinha gets a little bit extra time. I would give Rafinha maybe through next fall, and if he doesn't come into fruition, offload him in January at some point. But I don't like the quick turn and burn on players. You know, they come in, new league, new club, new country at times, and we expect them to hit the ground running. And that's just not going to be the case for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta be patient. We gotta make sure that we understand some of these players are an investment. You know, I certainly would not give up on Rafinha. Van is starting to frustrate me, I'll say. A little bit. Starting to frustrate me a little bit. Mario saying, Aubameyang back for Lewandowski will be great because they destroy him at Chelsea. If you remember, Aubameyang did not start this season well at Barcelona. Being asked to play in the number 9 role the way that Xavi wants it played right now with back to goal, that is not Aubameyang's strength. So I'm actually a little bit concerned with these rumors of Aubameyang coming back. I would rather keep Memphis. He makes more sense to me. I've talked about this already, but left wing, can create on his own, can sneak in the box and finish like that goal-scoring poacher that he is. Aubameyang has that, but not so much with the create on your own. Not so much with the player with your back to goal like Memphis can. Not so much with the physicality that Memphis has. So Memphis or Abba, I would like Memphis. I'm not going to be mad if Abba comes in, but I'll be skeptical, we'll say. Ayush, how we doing, sir? Glad to see you. Well, you missed it all, Ayush. We did the full match review. We went over the stats. We did the good, the bad, the Barça. But since you missed it, I'll flash it up on the screen there. Ansu got the good. The shorts, the red shorts, got the bad. The Young, for his role in the pivot, got the Barça. And then, of course, the trusty Ter Stegen. It's the mustache man of the match. So glad to have you sneak in here, Ayush. And you also missed that we are doing a bonus episode of Wake Up in Barça. That's going to be tomorrow. We'll do a full match preview for Real Madrid Barcelona Super Copa Final. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But that's actually going to do it. Ayush, I'm glad you popped in so I could say good morning to you. I hope your day is going well. And everyone else, too. Again, if you're watching on TikTok, swipe over, click the link in the bio to get over to YouTube. Get the full experience. Double tap that screen to get the hearts scrolling through. Armstrong, I see ya. Hello right back to you, sir. And then on YouTube, if you're enjoying the content, before you go, make sure you drop a like. Make sure you're subscribed. Turn on notifications. Come hang out tomorrow for the Super Copa Final match preview. Barcelona versus Real Madrid. We'll talk lineup. We'll talk predictions. All that and more right here on the Undefeated channel. As always, I love you very much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Go out there and have positive interactions, high fives and hugs for whoever wants them. And other than that, I will see you tomorrow right here on the Undefeated channel. Thank you so much for tuning in and taking a ride.